In this video, we will see the basics of key-based animation in Blender. So here we'll keep the cube. And before animate our cube, I will just show you a few things about the interface here. So you have the timeline. You can see that you can just click with playing the animation, play reverse, or go in the end, or go from key to key. We will see that with when we will add keys into our object. You have the possibility to show the seconds. By default, it's the frame. So a frame, it's an image, and 24 images will make 1 second in Blender by default. Here you can see there into the scene options, you will have the frame rate here, 24 frames per second. Okay, so you have the start and the end. You can manage this and add more images. So by default, it's 250 frames. It means that we will have a little more than 10 seconds. Okay, here we can view the time code to see the number of seconds here. Okay, if needed. Control T is the shortcut for that. And you have a dedicated interface for the animation that shows here. So you have the dope sheet, 2 3D views. In my opinion, I would add the graph editor over there. So the graph editor shows the animation curves, and we will show that a little more deeply in a few minutes. But now let's just animate our cube and show how it works. So to add a key, you just use the Y shortcut, okay? So the Y shortcut will give you a key here. A key is something that tells at this time, my cube is like this. It means what I mean like this. It's here. It's at 0 for the location, at 0 for the scale, and at 1, at 0 for the rotation, and at 1 for the scale, okay? And when I insert a key like that, I can just insert everything. But if I just click on Y on key and search for rotation and scale, I can just insert a location value and keep the rotation and the scale free. You can see that it didn't show the yellow. The yellow shows that there is a key on it. If I move my cursor, the green shows that there is a key, but I'm not in the frame of this key. And so if I insert again with K a location here, you can see that now I will have a new key. But if I move my cube and with K insert a location here, you see that there is not this line available here like before. It's because we have different values. If there are no different values, it will just tell that there is nothing between the two keys. So here, if I just click and drag, you will see the cube that will move progressively from point A to point 2 very easily. And now I can just go maybe in frame 190 like this, move again my cube, and with K insert a key of location. And again, you will see that now I can have the animation of my cube. Very simple to understand. But what is good is that you can play with separate keys, like you can separate the rotation and the scale, for example. So let's tell you will make a rotation that will start at 50. And you insert a key of location, a key of rotation. Good. And maybe it will stop at 140. So let's make a rotation now, just freely like that, and insert a key of rotation. So now what we will have the cube that will move, but not rotate, and start rotate at 50, make the rotation, and continue to move, but start rotate at 140, as you can see. So it's very important for people who doesn't know animation at all. It's very important concept to understand that you can separate the keys if needed. For example, I could add another key of scale here and tell that the dimension here looks good. So I insert a key of scale. Good. Now I go there and maybe I will add 3 keys, like I will go there, scale it down, insert a key of scale, and go there, scale it up, and insert a key of scale as well, okay? So now what we will have is this. It's just start moving, okay? Start rotating and moving at once. Start rotating and moving and scaling. And then after, start to grow up. Okay, continue to move and stop moving and continue to grow. So yeah, you can see that it's a very important way to understand how it works, this. And you can just, in some cases, just insert a Y like that, and it will fill the all keys like this. But be careful, in some cases, it's good to separate keys like that. So it's important to understand that. And that's the goal of the basic tutorial I will show you. It's how to bounce a ball, kind of animate, anime style, little cartoonish style. So let's remove this and let's add a sphere over there. So we'll add a sphere, we will take a UV sphere, simple, not that complicated sphere. Okay, maybe something with 24 will work well. Okay, let's say that it will work well, and even 16 might work even better. Okay, easier to select what I want to select. So here in edit mode, in top view and in wireframe view, I will select the faces and just make 2 shaders. So I will create a shader, okay, that will be red. Good. And that I will call red as well. And a new shader that I will put as a yellow. Okay. And call it, guess what? Yellow. Good. So what we will do, we just select a part of the mesh that will be in yellow. Okay, we did see how it works already in the shader section here. So I will just select with the C tool. So I just call it with C, but you can use the circle one here over there. It works exactly the same way. So it's just to paint the selection that is good for you. Okay, so I want to create a kind of beach ball like this. So again, we see I select what I want, just like this and just like that. Good. So I have this and I will assign this. So now in rendered view, I should have something like this. Good, we have a ball. So I would like just to make a rotation into the x-axis 90 degrees. Like this, we will see the ball turning point here, just like that. Good, and let's say that our animation will be something like this. So the ball will rotate and move. Okay, so we'll make something like this. Bounce here, it means that we will have the ball that will stretch a little, bounce here, and rotate and move after, but let's say more quickly, like more rotation, okay? So basically, it will be this that we will do, okay? And for this, we will just start our animation. Let's say the end of our animation will be 150, for example, to have something quick. And now let's move this over there. Okay, good. So we have our ball ready to bounce and move. So what I will do, I will just insert a location. We will start with the location first of all. We know that at frame 75, let's guess that it will be the middle of our animation. Okay, it will be near the center over there, a little under the ground. Let's say the x-axis here is the ground, a little under the ground, because I want to stretch it like this later. Okay, so I will insert a key of location. And then after I come back here, see where it was more or less. So on the line like this, it will bounce and go a little less high. So maybe somewhere here, you can just draw here where it will be more or less. Okay, if you want to add just a mark like this, you go in 150 and then you place the ball over there near here, and you insert with K a key of location. So what will happen now? What will happen is something like this. You see that the ball will create a kind of roundish shape, no bouncing at all. It's because by default in Blender, the basic curve that Blender will use is the Bezier curve. And let's show that into the curve interface here. So if I go into the graph editor, I can see my curves over there. So, and you can see that here we have the different values in the X, Y, and Z separated. That's why this one is important. And if you go into the sphere actions here, sphere action, and click on that, you will have the basic curves shows in red for the X1, in green for the Y, and Z for blue for the Z, okay? And it's the Z one that doesn't work well here. We can see that we have this kind of animation that doesn't work well, and it follows more or less the shape that we have. So what we would like is have a shape like this, sharp here. And to do that, we can play with this curve as we play with the curve in 3D view. So let's go there and go into interpolation mode and into, handle type. Or interpolation mode might work as well, but for this time we will just take the vector here. Now I can play with the handles and just with J like this, add this shape, okay? So now what we should have is something like this. It works far better, as you can see. But the animation is not finished. So here you have basically the X1, okay? And the X1 goes straight from here to there, so it's not that bad. In some cases, you can use, for example, here the interpolation mode to make it linear, for example. So it will go like this, okay? Maybe a little better in that, yeah, I think it's a little better, this. Now, we would like to play with the rotation. So let's say our sphere will make, our ball will make one entire loop until it bounces, and then after maybe one and a half entire turn like this. So let's go to the rotation here. Let's start into key 1, and we will insert a key of rotation. And we know by making the rotation that it's the Y value that will move here, okay? So what we will do, we will just go into frame here until the bounds, so frame 75 here. And what we would like is an entire loop, so 360 degrees. You don't have to make sometimes any manipulation. Just by making this, it will work as well. So I will make K rotation like that. And another way to have a rotation is that you can make some operations here. Like let's go into 150. So, okay. And you don't want to make math. So you go there and you make plus 360 again and plus 180 because we want one turn and a half. And it will give you the result directly. And you don't have to use the key sometimes, the K shortcut, sometimes you just put your cursor into the value that you want to add and you use the Y, and you see that it will create a key directly over there. So now what we will have, if we show only, you see that we have the rotation values that shows now. So if we just show this, we can see a long curve over there. It's because it's 360 degrees, so lot more of units. So what we will do, we'll select everything, and like in the 3D view with the dot here of the numpad, we will just can show everything that is selected. So perfect. And now we can see the rotation. Basically, we have nothing to do here. If you want to make it accelerate or not, depending, you can just play with the interpolation linear like we did before. But honestly, here we can see that we have the turning that works well, accelerate after. So not that bad, okay? And now let's think at the bounce here. So how it looks when you zoom in here and when you show here with the right arrow and the left arrow, I can go from frame to frame, okay? So here I have basically my ball that will be not stretched, and here it will be stretched, and here it will be not stretched. So I'm sure that here and there, the scale is at 1. So let's go into that. I insert a key over there. Like this, I'm sure that already before and after it's the right shape. And here I just make SZ to have this kind of stretched ball like this, okay? And I insert a key over there. Or I could make, like we did in the beginning, with K, insert a scale, okay? And now what do we have? We have the ball arrives, bounce, and continue. So you see it works pretty well. When you go quick like this, you just have a little bounce and it goes. Okay, perfect. And we could make shade smooth on that. So this is the basics for animate the transform values. So it means the transform values, the location, the rotation, the scale. But imagine you want to animate something else. Like for example, the color of the ball. You can do that in Blender. And you can do that for all the sliders in Blender, actually, that are related to an object. So it means that you have a lot of possibilities to make some animations. Imagine, for example, here we go into rendered view and add a light, okay? And maybe this light will be kind of area over there, okay? With GZ, I put it above. Maybe a big power, like 500 maybe, or even 5000 for this one, okay. Good, so imagine you have a lamp. You can play with the power of this lamp as an animation. Let's say in the beginning in the animation, okay? Maybe the lamp wants to follow this, so we can make a rotation first and insert a key of rotation. Good. And then in the middle, it follows still. Okay, so I insert a key over there and it still follows in the end. So like this, I'm sure that the lamp will follow well and kind of track the ball always, okay? But what I can do, I can play with the color of the lighting or the intensity of the lighting. Let's say in the beginning, I will have a really low power, like 20, or maybe 100, at least it will show a little, or 200. Okay, I can insert a key just like that. I just select the value and let it just add. I increase this in the middle. I put the value here and I even increase more, like 20,000 here and insert a key. So now the lamp will move progressively, and the power will go up progressively until the end. Okay, so you can see that there are a lot of possibilities. Imagine here, if you want to change the color of the ball, no problem, and the yellow can becomes blue during the animation. So let's go there in the beginning, maybe add a key into that. Okay, so with the Y shortcut, and at frame 150 it will be the opposite, so maybe a blue like this. Okay, and I insert one over there. So now what you can see is that progressively the yellow becomes blue until the perfect blue over there. So it works for all the sliders. If you want to play with the alpha, so it becomes totally transparent here, you can play with that as well. So make a character or whatever thing that you have in the scene disappear. You can play with an animation like that. Okay, let's say you want to make the entire ball disappear like this at a point. So let's say it will be at the frame 108, 120, and it has to be very quick. So suddenly it disappears. You have to do just the same animation for the yellow and the red shortcut. The yellow that is blue now, it's a little crazy. So let's insert a key over there for the alpha and go one frame later, okay? And you put it at 0, insert a key, put it at 0, insert a key, and that's it. So now if I don't select this, you can see that the ball will bounce, starts to become blue, and after this will disappear. And you have a lot of possibilities there. Imagine that this works, for example, for all the shaders, for all the modifiers as well. So let's say, for example, you want the ball to grow. And for this, you can use maybe the solidify, okay? You will just use the only rim, maybe increase the thickness here. I have to select it. Okay, so you have to put it outside like this. You can play with this value over there. So let's say you want it to grow like this, so you just go in the beginning. Okay, let's say in the bounce it grows. Okay, so we go in the beginning, you just play with the thickness here, we go there, maybe it will stay like this until here and start to grow there. Okay, you increase that by going here. Okay, and then after it's big. So much possibilities, as you can see. Same for an array modifier, it will work as well. So you can see that you have an array modifier. If you want to increase the count progressively during the animation, it will work as well. So let's go with that. And for example, if you insert a key there, go into the end until it shows, and maybe you go progressively and to 10 here. Okay, so it's a little crazy, but just to show you that it will work with the things as well, with all the sliders that you have in modifier. So it's a lot that you can do with the settings over there. So that's why I think in Blender animation is very powerful. And in the next video, we will see a little example to continue with the skis. I save you here this file into the source files as usual, and we will animate a logo into the next video.